You know, when we hear professionals say that water temperature is often the most important factor in determining where fish will be, are they talking about the surface temperature? Okay, well, taking the surface temperature is important, but mostly because it gives you a starting point. Good fishermen like to have a surface temperature gauge on their boat or their graph because they can easily keep an eye on it for abrupt or noticeable changes. When I see these areas, that, as I said, that does give me a good, starting point. But then what I like to do, I like to have one of these electronic hand units that I can lower down in the water with a probe. And what that does, it gives me an idea of what that temperature is at various depths as I lower it down. Now, bottom and mid-range temperatures are much more important than the surface temperature, assuming there's an adequate supply of dissolved oxygen there, especially during the summer months. A few degrees can make a world of difference, and a handheld unit with a probe can help you tremendously, especially in the early to mid-spring. Try one. Good luck. Don't believe for a minute that a jerkbait is only a dead of winter or an early spring technique. It extends long after the heavy coats and jackets come off and short sleeve apparel starts showing up. In fact, it lasts for me till the heavy coats go back on. You could say, under the right conditions, it's a 12-month-a-year lure. These elongated, slim-down stick baits are very well known as cold water lures, 45 degrees and above, but they're excellent warm water baits, 80 degrees and above. The reason bass like stick baits so well is because of their appearance. They have the shape, profile, and action, and in the mind of a bass, they're easy to swallow. Whoop, 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 whoop. What are we going to do here? What are we going to do here? Got my pliers right now. Easy. Let's see. Ow. Oh, look at that. Pretty green. Yes, y'all. Let me tell you something. The biggest difference between winter and summer jerkbait fishing is where and how you fish it. In the winter, when the water temperatures are in the 40-degree range, I may let the lure pause 12 to 15 seconds between movements, whether I'm sweeping it or whether I'm twitching it. But during the summer or warmer water months, I work it much, much faster. But sometimes when fish are inactive, I will slow it down a little bit. But in the winter, I've let it sit as long as 15 seconds, 20 seconds. Now, it might sound like a long, long time, and it is a long time, but you've got to have a lot of patience when you fish this thing in the winter months, when the water's in the low 40s to mid 40-degree range. I've had it just sit there and sit there and sit there where I couldn't stand it any longer. About that time, you'd feel them go tick and just swim off with it. No doubt they're a sensational little bait that you can cover lots of water with quickly, and with a little imagination, you can fish them in a variety of effective ways. Hey, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing here? What are we doing? I'll get my pliers. Cutting up here. All right, buddy. We got hooks everywhere. Just easy does it. Easy does it. There, we got that one, got that one, and we got that one. Nice looking little thing. Yes, you are. Toodaloo. Goodbye. You know, water temperature drastically affects bass and dictates their behavior during all seasons of the year, especially during the summer months. Biologists say that bass prefer water temperatures between 65 and 75 degrees. In the mid to high 70-degree range, they remain active up to 15 hours a day. Above 80 degrees, however, activity drops. At 85 degrees, their activity is less than 8 hours a day. And at 90 degrees, it slows down to only 4 hours. Research also shows that when water temps are in the low 70s, only 40% of the bass activity is in the evening. But at 82 degrees, as much as 70% of the activity occurs after dark. Now, this makes a fairly good case for night fishing during the hotter summer months, especially in clear water lakes. I love power poles on a boat. They're the greatest single invention that's come along in a long time. There's one right there. Coming right at me too. A nice one too. Whoa, buddy. I can't get out from under the boat. What is it? Is it going? He's strong. Whoa. All right, you go back and get on one of these here. Don't you do it. Don't you dare do it. Now let me just get my hand right in your face. There we go. Woo! Big old potted one. Yes, you are. Now here's something that's really, really funny. I hear it all the time. Is my jerk bait running deep enough? Well, you don't always have to get it very, very deep in clear water, simply because bass will move up a great distance to bust it, but seldom will they go down to get it if it runs below them. When you do draw bass up a great distance, he's usually committed. That's one key reason your twitch and pause presentation or cadence is so doggone important. A lot of beginners to this type of fishing understand the twitch, pause, twitch presentation, but what they may be missing out on is that it's the pause, not the twitch, that produces strikes most times. Now, like I said earlier, water temperature dictates the length of that pause. Now, it can vary from 15 seconds or longer in icy water to as short as a couple of seconds in warmer water, hot water. Like I say, most times they hit it when it stops, or just as you start to move it. But most times just as it stops, so you got to be ready. The action of the lure gets the bass's attention, but the strike comes on the pause the majority of the time. Oh, right there. Yes! Bow! Right at the boat. You got the bait. We'll need the pliers on that job. Oh, he got a mouthful of bait. Come up here, Daddy. All right, now, easy. Another hook there, and a hook right there. Nice little fish. Ready? On the surface, it's easy to say water temps are important. But hey, it's really more important to be able to determine temperatures throughout the water column. Regardless, a lot of anglers simply note the surface temperature by reading what's on their graph. And a lot of anglers just go by that, and they neglect the varying degrees below. Sure, surface temperatures can help you note sudden changes and perhaps key you to fish locations. But remember, fish, like the rest of us, seek comfortable environments. And for the fish, it's seldom right at the surface. Most likely, the ideal temperature lies below. Remember, just a few degrees can make all the difference in the world in catching or not catching.